I'm Sophie.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And we are SP film viewers.
And for today's episode, we went for something a bit, comical, I suppose.
Would you really call it comical?
Well, it's a horror film, but I wouldn't say it's not that horrific.
I can imagine if you were younger, it could be a bit frightening.
I mean, even when I saw this first time, didn't find that terrifying, really. But it's the 1993 film starring Jennifer Aniston, Leprechaun, in her first ever role.
She's actually the best thing about it, isn't she, really? Let's be fair. There's Warwick Davis being the Leprechaun, which is a horrible thing. It's not nice at all, but he does play a good role, I guess.
Sort of typecast in a sense, because of the height.
Yeah.
Really. But
I think back then they used to do that a lot, even like at pantomimes.
Yeah.
It used to be a case of you would kind of pick these kind of characters and then go for those fitting the role, so to speak. But obviously he's done really well for himself with his stature, actually, to say the roles he's been given and such. He's had a really good career.
I wouldn't say this is one of his finest his performance, really, but
no.
I mean, right off the bat, his Irish accent doesn't really hold up that well. It's kind of all over the place, even when he's trying to do it. Me cold and.
But I do think the whole Irish accent is quite weak, even at the beginning, when you've got the original couple that's from Ireland that's living in America. They don't sound mega Irish.
Oh, they're the most Irish lot of.
They are, but it's not as Irish as it probably could be.
How more Irish do you need to be?
I don't know. I know a lot more strong.
Like, top of the morning to you.
Yeah. Because I was like, is that Irish? I'm not sure. And then I was like, I wonder if Jennifer Aniston's going to be able to do an Irish accent. And then, obviously, no, she sounded exactly like Rachel from Friends.
This was before Friends as well.
I know, but I know her, that she's in my head.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny if you think about it, because they saw her from this and thought, oh, yeah, we'll cast her as Rachel in Friends.
Well, yeah,
which is kind of like a weird thing, isn't it, to think that.
But then the role wasn't that far diverse, was it, really? Let's think about it. She was a posh girl,
with high standards,
yeah. So that's still the same, and I feel like any role that she's been in is kind of to that kind of role a little bit. She's kind of now, I think, breaking out a little bit, but in a rom-com kind of days.
Yeah.
She was still kind of generic.
Yeah, perceived as that Rachel character.
Yeah. It's like part of me thinks, is that actually her personality? Is she just literally just like that? I don't actually know. So, if anyone doesn't know, myself and Paul actually have just bought a lovely new house. And you thought this was going to be a brilliant movie to put on, because obviously this couple, well, it's not actually a couple, it's a dad and Jennifer Aniston. She's the daughter, and moving into this new property, and it's like a shack. It's dropping to bits, there's things wrong. And it felt like you'd pick this on purpose, knowing we're moving into his new home and we've got like kind of the keys and everything. And it's like you're stumbling across things that are not yours and that you're kind of inheriting, so to speak. And they kind of inherit this leprechaun.
Not by their own right. It's just something that happens to you locked in a basement in a crate with a 4-leaf clover on top so you can't get out.
It did frighten me a little bit. Not the leprechaun itself, but like thinking of, we're in his new home, what are we going to stumble across now? Is there going to be something not as nice as you think it is on your first intention? And I think that's kind of what...
pretty much looked in every obvious area in the house where there could be. It's not like a dingy basement or anything that we've got.
Thank God. I don't think I'd be going down there after this film. We've seriously got a bad issue with basements now. Especially since Parasite, I feel like basements are a no-go for me. I don't want to be going in a basement. We actually have one at the moment where we're living before we move in, and I hate my basement. So this movie, I feel like it actually we put it on because it was like I said, I wanted something light-hearted.
And I don't know, I just scrolling through Amazon Prime and it's like, oh, I ain't seen this in a while, and thinking it's I know it's horror. You don't really like horror that much, but I know it's not that. It's not really that kind of level.
It's not
of
really
horror.
horrific,
No.
is it? Really,
and it's got Jennifer Aniston, so it's just kind of like, oh, see how she's performing in this, because I hadn't seen it in a while, and it was just something just to leave your brain at the door kind of thing, and just.
We've also been rewatching Friends recently, so it's quite nice to kind of have that fresh Rachel kind of character in your head, knowing what she's actually like to compare the two. I feel like I was doing that a lot, and then worked out that she was only 23 years old, I believe, in this movie that she was starring in, which, you know, if I were Jennifer Aniston, I would be a little bit embarrassed now. You know, like, you know, when you start out and you do all these...
you got to start somewhere, haven't you? Yeah.
rubbish jobs, like, it's like you when you started out trying to do your animator, or like me looking back at my photos and you're like, oh god, that's actually shocking. But when you initially did it, you were so proud of yourself.
Yeah.
That's what this one feels like for me, for Jennifer Aniston. I think she wants to probably put it to the back of the wardrobe or in the basement now, locked away where it should belong.
I think people have done a lot worse, to be fair, but, you know, I get what you're saying, yeah.
Her acting wasn't poor at all. Like, her performance was really good for her age and everything. That's not changed much, really.
Yeah, there's definitely the other characters you've got are not particularly strong, so she's not exactly fighting off the competition with that.
So obviously you've got Warwick Davis as well. I think they're the two blockbusters, so to speak, but I guess Jennifer Aniston wouldn't have been costing them that much at this moment in time. No. So basically you've got this leprechaun down in the cellar, basement, whatever you want to call it, and the previous owners have pinched the leprechaun's gold. The leprechaun actually pushes the lady down the stairs, and then the other guy has a stroke, but he ends up putting the leprechaun. He's going to set the house on fire, wasn't he? But he puts,
like I said, the leprechaun in the crate with the 4-leaf clover on top, so he can't escape from it. Just sort of like a prison for him. Which
I don't really know what this 4-leaf clover does. I thought it was just lucky. I didn't know it like melted leprechauns and all of that stuff. I think
it's I'm not a big thing on the whole leprechaun lore thing, so I don't know as to whether that is really anything thing, or maybe it's just it's a billion like werewolves and silver bullets thing. It's kind of just something just to make up to the fact that that's their weakness kind of thing. Just
is that for the thing?
What?
Didn't know that was a thing for the werewolf thing.
Yeah, well, it's unlike vampires and garlic and the cross. You know, stake through the heart, that kind of stuff. So it's just a creative liberty or something for the fact of him having a weakness.
Well, he needs one, doesn't he? Because he seems to be able to be quite manipulative and get his own way.
Although, when he obviously comes out from his crate and everything, his strength seems to be fairly inconsistent.
It's me gold. I need me gold. And then
keeps banging on about that. But I'm on about like things like when, well, there's one instance where when they all finally see him and his hand gets lobbed off by the door when they're just shutting it. Can't do that. And then there's another thing later on where he rips off a police car door, and it's like, well, why couldn't you have broken through a wooden door? Yeah, you're strong enough to.
Yeah. Well, a part of me wants to kind of at the beginning kind of give him a bit of benefit of the doubt that apparently the gold is giving him. So maybe that's what it was at the back end. He had his pot of gold then. So he might have had more strength. I don't.
That's what it was going on, yeah. But.
So I thought leprechauns were cute, and it reminds me of that Christmas song, which is, I always think it says I want to be a leprechaun. But it's actually
only you think that.
It's actually an instrumental, isn't it? And it's
I believe it's Mike Oldfield or something, but I can't remember what the song.
Mike Oldfield.
What?
What did you say? Mike Oldfield.
Mike Oldfield.
What's the song called? I want to be a leprechaun. I want to
No.
be a leprechaun.
Okay, I don't want to get copyright now, do you?
Well, no, because it's my own song, isn't it?
I can't. I don't actually know what this. It's like a Latin name or something. I don't know.
So I was singing that in my head until I saw the leprechaun and was like, oh, it's not a cute little Irish leprechaun. And I didn't know leprechauns were so vicious.
They're not. It's just a horror element.
I just like the fact that they thought of all things to make horrific. Oh, we'll do a leprechaun. Mm-hmm. It's like nowadays people love unicorns. Wouldn't it be funny if you had like a killer unicorn?
Give it time, there will be. They've done other B-movie monster things of all sorts, so yeah. They've got Sharknado and things like that, so it's, like ridiculous sci-fi channel films, and yet, they sell mega books because they're just so ridiculously stupid.
But I think the leprechaun it's like having an evil tooth fairy.
Yeah.
It's a mythical kind of magical creature that is nice, that brings you a pot of gold. That, unless I'm wrong, if there's some Irish people that know the hidden folk, whatever meaning behind a leprechaun.
Well, that is what it's supposed to be, yes. But
so I thought it was nice. He wants to give you the pot of gold normally.
No, you have to catch it to get his pot of gold.
Yeah, but then he's not going to come after you, is it? Because you've earned it fair and square. Whereas this leprechaun
is just greedy and...
Yeah, he's greedy, manipulative. I didn't know leprechauns could be manipulative and pretend that they could change their voices.
They're a fictional character, so, again, it's...
Yeah, but you kind of have a coherent kind of order, like the tooth fairy. She comes when your teeth's fallen out, She's not going to come and take all your teeth out, is she?
She wouldn't if she was a horror.
There was, obviously the stereotypicalising of the leprechaun with the shoes. Like, oh, I've got gold on me buckles. That's my Irish accent. I'm sorry, it's quite poor, but it's probably as good as Warwick Davis.
Yeah, probably. Do you mean the part where Jennifer Aniston's driving away and throwing shoes for him to polish? It's almost like a bit of a stereotype question mark thing going on there. Like, you've got to have him doing that as a distraction. Like, quick, just...
How fickle are you, really, with the fact that he messes the whole place up and then stumbles across the shoes and puts them all nicely polished on the table. I'm like, one extreme to the other is like messing the joint up and then cleaning your shoes. It's like, I don't understand what you're doing here, pal.
Yeah.
But,
so there's not much, as you kind of tell from us just rambling on about certain things, there's not much of a story, really, is there?
Obviously, you've got a character called Ozzy who is included with the three guys that paint?
Paint or something, a great name for a business.
And obviously, the acting skills on them are quite poor.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have really liked Ozzy a lot more. I felt like he was going to be like Sam or like a lovable character, but I actually couldn't tolerate, and I know he wasn't all...
A character wasn't all there, yeah.
But
like a Lenny of Mice and Men a little bit. But
Lenny, I loved Lenny in Mice and Men. I felt so sorry for Lenny and felt like... But I didn't get that.
From him, no.
No. If anything, he started to become a little bit irritating, and I was like, Sophie, that's really mean of you. But it wasn't like I felt sorry for him.
Yeah, you don't really gel with any of the characters, to be honest.
No, there's no connection there. You actually don't really... I wasn't really upset if any of them did die by the impact of the leprechaun, nor was I bothered if the leprechaun died. It was quite comical the way the leprechaun popped up and stuff.
In cupboards, and it's a bit like a Scooby-Doo thing where they will open this drawer and then they'll come out of this drawer and all that stuff, and the weird sped up footage when he's on this little tricycle and...
Reminds me of It for that for some reason.
I kind of get what you mean, yeah. But I think you're probably thinking of just some other weird, freaky thing,
Yeah, reminds me of that, but I don't know if it's flashbacks in it where it's pretending to be riding a bike or something, or something similar to that.
Yeah.
Which I think it did remind me a lot of the scary kindness of it. It kind of got a bit dark. What rating was it? Do you know?
Dark as in violently dark, or dark as in dark, you couldn't see anything? because that was the case in some of the shots.
It was a bit, well, I think that's because of the case that they did, it was low budget, wasn't it, really, and what they were trying to go for, sometimes they had to kind of make it dark, but...
I think, rating-wise, it was, well, for the time, probably 18, probably now 15, if...
I didn't like the eyeball scene, though. That was a bit
that's probably
gruesome.
the most goriest part of the film,
I wasn't a big fan of that, and I did have to actually cover my eyes up a little bit. And the hand, I don't really like things that are not, that should be attached to your body, not on your body, I've noticed. From this film, it kind of creeped me out a little.
Mm-hmm.
But there isn't really much going for the film. Like, literally, I only wrote 3 pages, which is quite strange for me. Normally, I write...
Yeah, there's no, like, twists or anything crazy like that, is there?
No, the leprechaun dies in the end, which is fine. People get injured along the way. None of your main characters die. You assume the dad's okay. You don't get really...
he's out of it for half of the film.
Yeah, but it's not even like he comes back from hospital, but you just assume that he's all right.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that, not knowing if that's daft. Normally I would get annoyed, but it's like, they weren't in it for half the film, so...
Yeah, it's like, I don't care about him,
Because this was meant to be happening all in the space of like an evening, wasn't it, really, the back end?
Yeah.
So I think, really, he's just going around causing havoc, killing people, so he counts his gold. And that's when he kind of gets, like, I'd be like, mate, it's a coin. Just calm down. You've got 99 of them. Be happy with that. Why do you have to be greedy and have another coin? Like, I'd rather have my 99 coins and live the rest of my life as a happy little leprechaun than have to go and cause havoc and then end up dying. Then you've no coins, have you?
What's he supposed to do with just what he's going to buy a house? What do you want him to do with just to walk away and do what?
Just, you've got your coins now. Leave people alone and go away. Stop being greedy. The moral of the story is greed gets you nowhere and you end up dying. If there is a moral, that's my moral.
Very loose moral, yeah.
It was quite laughable, some of the way the things that the leprechaun came out of nowhere, and it was a bit comical, as you say. There was parts of it like, I'm sat there thinking, what am I actually watching? Like, I've been watching for a month Hitchcock films where the camera is amazing, the lighting is brilliant. They've thought about every single little bit that they put into this film. And then you put on the leprechauns and I'm like, well, I don't even know what to say about this film. I can't comment on the lighting because it was dark, but there was nothing special about it.
No.
There was nothing like eye-catching unless somebody is aware of something, but I'm pretty sure I didn't miss it because there was not much going on.
No.
Anyways, and it was just like, I don't really know if I've enjoyed it. I won't watch it again. I've seen it once. I won't be you. I won't be like, oof, gonna have to put that on again. I'd rather put Dirty Dancing on again than that. It's... Once you've seen it, you've seen it, to be completely honest.
Yeah. It's the second time seeing it, but again, when I saw it, was quite a lot younger, so seeing how it holds up. Because I've been watching the other ones, the second one.
Please don't put
me
through
No,
that.
I won't put you through, because there's no point in that, because that was, the acting in that was way, obviously, I couldn't remember what the first one was like, so I was kind of like doing, because I hadn't seen the sequels. So I'd put on the second one, the acting that is absolutely awful.
It's not got Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, it's got no credible people in that at all, really.
So who's the leprechaun?
It's still Warwick Davis, but he's coming back from the, it comes out of a tree or something, resurrected and stuff.
He died in the well, so how did he end up in the tree?
No, it's not like a direct follow. It's just a sequel that doesn't follow really from the other one. So, and then the third one that was a little bit better, weirdly, but.
So is it not connected to that family then? Because
no, it's nothing. It's no connection whatsoever. So
why is he griping on somebody then? Because they ain't got his coins.
Yeah, they did.
How?
Don't know. They stumbled across him or something. You got to have some thread of a story.
What a load of rubbish that is.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I just think everything was quite predictable, but also you were like getting a 4-leaf clover. What is the chance of that actually happening in the space of time that they did?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, what is it? Ozzy said, you've got to believe or something. And it's like, oh, yeah, I'm looking. Oh, look, it's there.
Yeah.
Like, oh, convenience.
And it was just like, oh, it's just a bit cheesy as well, because it's like, that's not real life. Life doesn't happen that way. Like,
and neither does when the Leprechaun had that little makeshift car that he had that tipped over the
oh my
truck.
God, that was ridiculous. That was like
unrealistic.
No way is that happening. Are you having a laugh? I think I did. I looked at you like, that's just unrealistic. And I'm thinking, I did. Part of me did think, oh, can we just turn it off? It's not my bag. But then it was like, well, I just want to see how it ends now. Does it die? But then it kind of made it look like you said, there would be another one, and it was like, just why? She could have stopped while you somewhat started. But
it actually goes on for. I'm not going to bother with the other ones, but there's actually a fourth and a fifth one.
what?
Well,
Why?
I think.
Did they even get any money out of this, or did they just?
I don't know. They obviously they keep making them, so people.
Who's watching them?
Fans of Leprechauns, I don't know.
Obviously, like green and Irish things. Maybe it's all the Irish.
Yeah. Well, no, because it takes place in like America, so.
I'm a bit dumbfounded by that, to be fair.
Yeah.
So I think really with this, I think it's one of those where, light-hearted.
Yes.
Don't watch it when you're going to be moving into a new house because you think there's a leprechaun anywhere going to jump out at you.
I think that's just you, really.
I do take things quite literal.
Yeah, I think it's certainly one to watch. Maybe if you were having a few drinks or something, kind of just taking the mickey out of it, really.
Or a bit of a laugh, or you've kind of had an hard day and you don't want to concentrate.
Too much, yeah.
You can watch this and you can bob in and out of the kitchen. You won't miss much.
Yeah. It's not like that's reflects if you walk out for like 5 minutes and you come back and you still know what the storyline is. Then you know it's not very good. So we'll go to scoring if you think you can muster up some kind of answer to that.
So I don't think I'd watch it again. I don't think it's poor, but I just don't think compared to... I don't know if you've given me a high standard for the last month.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be hard now.
I'm not expecting a high score for this one, to be fair.
Did you know I wasn't going to be a big fan? Because you were like, oh, it'll be comical. And I'm like, I didn't really want to put it on. But you was like, oh, well, it's on there and we'll just put it on.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say there was anything good about it. There was nothing that I really struck out that was like really, really something eye-catching or worthy story or like even a lovable character. There was just nothing of that for me, which is what drives me to give him a higher score. If you're going to throw in some brilliant camera trickery, then I'm well happy. But there wasn't. It was nice to see. The only thing I think I really enjoyed out of it was seeing Jennifer Aniston in her first debut kind of film. Yeah. I think that's the best thing of it.
But that we can take away,
And she's still as pretty as ever and still a good actor when she was in her first role. So I think I will score this a 5. Sorry, Jennifer Aniston. I love you in Friends though, so it's okay. What about you?
No, I thought you would have gone low, to be honest.
No, because it is comical. It's not like Borat where it's like I just can't watch it. Everything's cringe. It was light-hearted. It wasn't too bad, but I wouldn't watch it again. I wouldn't give it any higher than a 5. The 5 is like.
I know it's middle ground. But I only say that because as much as I love horror stuff, this didn't really do anything for me this time around.
Really? Mainly
because the characters really just kind of just grated on me a bit more this time. No offense to Jennifer Aniston, she was the better one of the bunch, but mainly it's because you got that thing, it's Rachel from Friends, that kind of thing, so you give her a pass for that, really, but everybody else was just a bit irritating, and you had no attachment to them whatsoever. Leprechaun itself, they said, his inconsistent strengths, his inconsistent accent for, he was supposed to be Irish. Makeup was okay, though, for him, in terms of making him look like a creepy... Yeah, no, they did do him quite well, didn't they? But I did also notice, I pointed out, the fact that some of the, obviously when they're doing the stunt stuff, he changed height in certain parts in camera shots. Yeah. Where it's like, he looks taller there, but he's small again. And he's... Pretty sure it's like a stunt double. Yeah, it is, will be, But, so I thought you'd gone low, because I'm going to give it a 4. Oh, really? 10. So
I was being too kind, wasn't I?
You can change it if you want to, but I'm not going to force you to change it.
I feel like I should now, because
that's
you're
why
giving it a 4. I'm like, I was just being nice, thinking, oh, well, it wasn't, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, so it's like in the middle ground. But I would not suggest anyone to go see it. So I think maybe I might go 4 with you then, because I think if I go 3.5, that's a bit, it's not that rubbish. But I don't think it's, now that you've said 4, is worthy of a 5.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll let you have a pass there, swapping it round if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
But only because I thought I was trying to be nice to you, really.
No, it's really just for, because I hadn't seen it in a while. I thought it'd just be something just a bit light-hearted and entertaining to poke fun off, sure, but not like, oh, this is fantastic.
So you actually preferred Dirty Dancing then?
Yeah, there's definitely more to that than.
Yes, there is. Yeah, because you actually said there wasn't much content in Dirty Dancing, but actually.
Yeah, at least compared to this, it's
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So there we go.
Please try and pick a better film next time.
Yeah, pick something else.
Giving me high standards now. I know what I'm looking for, so it's so more frustrating when you give me a really, really, really rubbish film.
I guess it's sort of a taster for maybe October month. We've got Halloween films, so.
But we're not watching scary films at Halloween, so it's okay. No, only in daylight.
Yeah, we'll maybe do that then. But still one in particular I definitely want to put on, but we'll get to that.
You think it's going to scare me?
I don't know. I don't know how you'll react, so. Why did you surprise me with Psycho, like I say, from your reactions to those those scenes? So
yeah, Paul. Yeah. If you want sleepless nights, then that's it's down to you, pal.
Right. So thank you very much for listening to our thoughts on this.
Don't go watch it. Don't waste your time. I've wasted mine for the entire world, so it's fine. Just listen to us, and you'll be fine and plain sailing.
Okay, that's Sophie's verdict, and you can listen to our other episodes, of course, over on our Podbean page, and of course on Spotify, iTunes, and wherever else you might get your podcast from. And you can follow us on social media under the handle SP Film Viewers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
So thank you so much for listening to my thoughts and rambling on and ranting. I think Paul was trying to put a Borat kind of curveball in there. So I hope that you've enjoyed it.
And we'll speak to you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Take care now. Bye.
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 Bye.